Welcome to Meet Your Neighbor, the podcast that highlights the people and stories that make Westbrook Village a truly exceptional community. I'm your host, Steve Marilla, local realtor, neighbor, and proud member of this vibrant community. Each episode, we sit down with residents to learn about their careers, life experiences, and what brought them to Westbrook Village. It's a chance to connect, share, and celebrate the unique journeys that shape our neighborhood. Thanks for tuning in. And now, let's meet your neighbor. On this episode of Meet Your Neighbor, I sit down with Robin Krapfl, a fierce competitor whose love for golf and for life is as strong as ever. Robin was named 2025 Arizona Golf Association Women's Player of the Year and Coast Senior Women's Player of the Year. But her story goes far beyond awards. We talk about her lifelong drive to compete, her 32-year career as head coach of the Nebraska women's golf team, and what continues to fuel her passion for competition today. Robin also shares how she found her way to Westbrook Village and why this community feels like home. And if stories like Robin's get you thinking about living an active lifestyle in Westbrook Village, or if you have questions about buying or selling here, I'd love to be a resource. Real estate is how I support this podcast, and I'm always happy to help. Now, let's meet your neighbor. Hello, Robin.
Hi, Steve.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
You have we're sitting at Robin's kitchen table, and you have a beautiful home, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Very nice. I shouldn't be surprised because everyone in here has beautiful homes because there are forever homes now, kind of.
That is true.
We do what we want to them compared to when we're younger and we're always concerned about resale.
That is very true.
Very true. So where are you from? Are you from Nebraska?
I am from Nebraska originally, a small town in eastern Nebraska called West Point.
West Point, okay. And what was it like growing up there?
You know, it's a typical small town. And of course, in my age bracket, we didn't lock our doors. We would stay out after dark and play tag or whatever. And it was a great lifestyle.
Really? Were you always into sports?
I was. The neighborhood was just full of boys. I was actually the only girl.
Oh, really?
And so I would play, wiffle ball and 500 and football, tackle football and, go for bike rides. We had a clay pit. We'd go climb down into the clay pit, which we weren't supposed to do, but it was a lot of fun.
Sure. Oh, I bet that's not like the Americana growing up.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So then went to high school there and grew up there. Where'd you go to college?
Well, first of all, I went to Hastings College to play basketball.
Really?
Yes.
Point guard?
I was definitely a point guard. Yep. And there was two sophomore guards that were very good, and I had never not started in my life, so it was a huge adjustment. And I had an opportunity to transfer to Nebraska then to play golf, so I took that avenue.
So did you play golf in high school then?
I did. I actually sued the state in order to play on the boys' team because they had no girls golf then. So I was the first court case that they went, and obviously they ruled in my favor,
right.
And I was able to play boys' high school golf.
Oh wow! And how did you do?
We went to state one year, and it was fun, and the boys on my team were very accepting, and it was a fun experience.
Well, and you probably grew up with all those boys playing football and everything.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's neat. Yeah, I wanted to play volleyball in high school, and we didn't have a men's team. And me and a friend of mine, we had talked about it, and they said, "Well, you're gonna have to go to the board meetings and all this stuff." And I'm like, I wasn't good enough to do that. But that was back when two-person volleyball was really popular.
Oh, okay.
Top Gun days.
Right. Right.
And everybody was playing volleyball. So
okay.
Huh. So you you played high school boys and golf, and then you moved on to Nebraska. Have you always been top level athlete as far as, always a starter, always?
Yeah, I was, all state, all conference,
Wow.
From a sophomore on. And so I was always a decent athlete.
A good athlete. So you played at Nebraska. How did that go for you?
It was good. Again, the competition was very good. I did get to play quite a bit. I had a great coach in Jerry Fisher.
Okay.
And, wonderful teammates that, still in contact with now. But I wasn't a star there. I was, in and out of the lineup. And,
sure.
I my coach now, says that I wasn't as focused on the game because I remember one time we were supposed to not play softball during the season.
Sure.
And of course, I love playing softball. So I went and I slid and I had a big old strawberry on my leg. And so, obviously he found out and
oh boy, got in trouble?
Yeah, I definitely got in trouble for that one. But,
and that's when you were at Nebraska?
That was when I was at Nebraska.
So you just can't help yourself.
I can't. I love sports.
That's awesome. I mean, have you loved sports your whole life? I mean, since then, I obviously know you today.
Right.
And you're very athletic and you're very involved in sports. But throughout your life, raising kids, you were always an athlete?
Yeah, I played softball until I had my boys. And then I played a couple years after and just, I just didn't have time.
Sure.
And then I never, it was funny because golf, when I was working as a career in golf, I maybe played 20 times a year. So I really wasn't that focused on golf either. I was just busy with work.
Sure.
But continued to do, I played a lot of tennis and, I took up tennis after college.
Okay. And what was you mentioned your work. What did you do for a living?
I was a golf coach at the University of Nebraska.
Oh, okay. You went right into that, huh?
I did. I was right after, I used up my eligibility. I became the assistant coach. And then 3 years later, I became the head coach.
Oh, wow. And how long did you do that for?
35 years total.
Holy moly. Back to your college playing days. I know you have a tremendous amount of focus on golf right now. And I think, probably part of it may be because you have time to really focus on it. Do you think you could have been even better back then if you had your focus now back then? Do you think you would have been up a notch, or do you think it would have been? Because it's funny your coach says that, because I would never say you don't have focus.
I think if I would have, put a little bit more time and effort into my game, then I could have been better. But I think my career actually benefited my game. Watching the quality of players that we had at Nebraska and that we competed against, I think I learned, I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
So I think, watching, Sarah Sassy, her short game and, just a bunch of players on my teams, I think I learned from and became a better player, just observing.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely would not have been as good as I am now had I worked at it then.
Sure. Just because you learned so much over the years from watching good players.
Right.
So what was it like coaching top level, Nebraska athletes?
I mean, it was a great career. I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
Yeah.
I think, obviously Nebraska is not where the traditional great golfers would go to play golf.
Right.
So we were more of recruit good athletes or, good players and try to develop them into great players.
Sure.
We did go to nationals 3 times, and I think we went to regionals like 9 times.
Oh,
but
wow.
it was we were competitive, but it was a challenge to really get the best players right away. But we, my assistant coaches and I, we're in more of a developmental.
Sure. So you had to put a lot more effort, almost to grind, to get your team as good as they were, because you didn't have the caliber of athletes that, Miami's getting. Is that kind of
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the athletes that worked hard. You try to recruit players that want to be better players, and so they'll work hard and they will improve. Yes, the coaches have an impact, but I think recruiting the right players was huge.
And was it difficult to get people to come to Nebraska, or did you get some winning going? And or was that always I feel like, I don't know. I don't have any experience with this, but when I think of Nebraska, I think of that as a pretty well-known college, not elite, but, and was it hard to, or are they elite?
Well, it's the University of Nebraska.
It's
one
amazing,
of the top
right?
colleges in the country for athletics.
Yeah.
Our facilities were top notch. Our the athletic department was top notch. Our football team was back in the day was fantastic. So it brought attention to the school.
Sure.
So it was not hard, but then it was hard.
Sure. Is it more weather? I mean, people want to go to warm climates for golf, right?
Yeah, obviously for golf, weather is a huge factor.
Sure.
So yes,
okay, so that's
that
kind
did
of
impact it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just trying to understand because I mean, if someone says they went to Nebraska, I look up to them. I mean, I think that's a top-notch school, but I don't know what it looks like in the golf, in the golf lens.
Yeah, we have great golf courses. We have, like I said, great facilities, but the drawback is weather.
Yeah.
The blue chip athletes want to play where they can play year round.
Sure.
So that was the biggest challenge.
Sure. Did you have a favorite athlete that you coached?
Oh, I'm not going there.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I had so many.
I
had so many athletes I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But,
are you still in touch with a lot of them?
Yeah, Facebook has been great because you can really keep in touch with them there. And then we just had our reunion. Let's see.
Really?
Yeah, the 50th year of women's golf at Nebraska.
Oh, wow. And 50 years. And you were involved in 32 of them.
33 or 35.
35.
Yeah. Well,
35,
plus playing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're a big part of Nebraska's golf history.
Yeah, I was there a lot of years.
Yeah, that is awesome. And do you still get involved at all anymore at fundraising or anything?
Not so much. Obviously the tournament down here, Nebraska plays in, which is actually how I found this place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is the college tournament that Wisconsin hosts.
Okay.
I brought my team down here, and at the time, my husband was, wanting to retire and looking for some place to go.
Yeah.
And he was talking Arkansas, and I said, over my dead body, are we going to Arkansas? But I think you'd really like Westbrook Village. So he came down and watched the tournament one year and liked it. And then the next year he rented, I think, for a month.
Yeah.
And then the next year he rented for 3 months and bought a place.
Oh, wow. And is it this house was this your first house?
No, this is actually our third house.
Oh, your third?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I retired, I wasn't sure we could afford to have two houses. And so we sold the other one down here and I came down for a winter and I decided I could stay down here.
Yeah.
And so then we bought a house over in Willow Ridge on Tonto on the golf course.
Okay.
And then after spending 1 year here, we realized we wanted a swimming pool. So this is our forever house. So we're done moving. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some people love living on a golf course and some people don't. I mean, you lose privacy. You have, you constantly have, Bill Bonds is constantly enjoying lunch with my wife as she's out eating lunch, which is great if that's what you like.
Right.
But for privacy and your own downtime in your backyard, it's not always, it doesn't always work with during the day during golf.
Right. With the pool, I love the privacy, but I also enjoyed, the view on the golf course.
Yeah.
And the socialization with other players and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's pros and cons.
Right.
But I know a lot of people that said I'd never live on a golf course. I mean, I have clients that said I don't want to be on the golf course, but you don't know until you've done both, and you've done both.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could be happy in both places.
Sure. So, your golf game today. So you were, what was your last award?
Arizona Golfer of the Year and Arizona State Senior Golfer of the Year.
That's pretty incredible. Is that one of your more proud accomplishments, or what is your proudest accomplishment?
I think last summer I had an opportunity. I qualified for the U.S. Senior Open.
Yes.
So I think that is my most proudest moment. I really didn't even dream of being able to do that, but I had a great qualifying round. And funny story about that is, you got to choose your own practice round time. And I looked and there was an opening with Annika Sorenstam.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, that would be so much fun to be able to play golf with her. But I was too afraid to do it. So, I told a couple people about it and that you got to do it. And so I looked a week later and there was still an opening and finally worked up the nerve to do it. And I signed my name up and I got to play a practice round with Annika Sorenstam, which was amazing.
I bet.
She's such a nice person, but and a great golfer. Her husband was wonderful. We actually had a mutual acquaintance. He knew Bo Pelini, who coached at football at Nebraska.
Okay.
So, we took a little selfie together and sent it to Bo.
Do you think the spot was open because other people were too intimidated to try and get in there?
I would think a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
Well, good for you to have the courage to do that. I mean, and it's hard to say because it's hard to relate to you because of how good you are. And at that level of golf, I golfed with you once, and luckily I golfed halfway decent, but it's intimidating when you see a tee time. And I do think, do you remember when you played with me?
Oh yeah, of course.
And the Daniel in the pro shop said, Robin, you're playing with these 3 guys, so if you don't want to play with them, I'll just get you out of it. And I'm like, geez, damn. Yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
But do you mind golfing with golfers that aren't competitive or don't take it as serious?
Absolutely. I need some mental breaks too from the game. And so, it's very enjoyable for me to play with all levels of players, and, you get to meet some great people that you otherwise would never have met.
Sure.
Yeah, I do like my competitive days also, but no, I love the golfers I play with here, all levels of them.
So, let's just touch on pickleball a little bit.
Okay.
So starting out with pickleball, obviously you didn't play pickleball. At one point you became a new pickleball player. Was it hard to take up a new sport for you, for us mortals? We just don't know what we don't know, but you probably have an eye you can see the talent of pickleball players and different athletes. And was it hard to start a sport that you really weren't probably a natural at? Or were you a natural?
Well, I was a tennis player, so it actually, the hand-eye coordination did come very easy for me.
Sure.
And so, I'm probably not your typical beginning pickleball player.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, and you're an athlete.
Right.
I mean, a lot of us call ourselves athletes, but I always say, no, you're fit. You're not athletic. And is it fun learning about pickleball? Because I'm constantly learning if I play with better players, positioning, strategy. And I always tell people when they first start playing, wait until you're placing the ball. That's when the game becomes fun. And it's not like golf because you're alone playing against the course. And is it a transition for you to go from golf to pickleball where it's live,
It's actually great. Again, great for me because it's just totally different than golf.
Yeah.
And so I get to be more athletic, which I really enjoy. And the strategy of pickleball, is actually, a lot of the chipping stroke is similar to the drop dink shots and things like that.
Okay.
And then I have very good court vision, so I hit shots that a lot of people don't see.
Sure.
And, I play probably a little bit different type of pickleball than a lot of players because I go more for angles and openings and things like that a little more aggressive, get the point over with.
You do. And you have put away. But when you go to put it away, it's with intent and you're putting it away at an angle that is awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Where if someone just comes at you, someone with quick hands like me, I can react. But I've noticed playing against you have more winners where I don't think they're going to be winners because you're have an angle that's really hard for me to get to.
And again, I think with golf, there's, angles also.
Sure.
Whether it's bunkers or water or whatever, you have to figure out what's the best angle for approach, what's the best angle, to, hit your ball, the direction. So, I think there are some similarities, but again, it comes back to, you can be an athlete in pickleball more so than in golf.
Yeah, you can. And in pickleball, you can kind of overcome some mistakes with athleticism. Mm-hmm. But with golf, I, as a poor golfer, I'd say, I think back on that last shot when I'm walking to my ball, I'm thinking, why didn't you just take more time or do something different? And then I talk to someone like you and who is looking at all the angles and the approach and where the pin is. And what's the thought process? When you're quiet walking to your ball, are you analyzing everything?
Yeah. I'm analyzing my lie, the wind, where the pin is, how much screen I have to work with. So I have a ton of thoughts in my head.
And is that pretty normal for a high level golfer? I mean, is there?
I would think so. I'm not in anyone else's head, but
right.
I think you definitely are more analytical the higher level you play.
Yeah, and I mean, do you see like a golfer with a beautiful swing and just say, "Oh, if you just would take a little a more analytical approach to it," or is it? Do you not look at other people's game?
Again, I'm a visual learner, so I try not to watch other people's swings, but
Sure.
no, I do, I do watch people, and there are times that I know I could help them become better players because, they're making some mistakes that they don't need to make.
Sure. Just really fixable,
Yes.
just mental cues.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, that would be, I think I have a ton of those, but
You're a good player.
I lost my swing, so I don't wanna talk about golf anymore. So when you move to do you just love it when the girls come?
Yeah,
I mean, is
and
that like that's gotta be like a trip down memory lane for you every year?
yeah, there's no longer any players on the team that I had recruited, but,
Right.
I'm a Husker through and through, so
Yeah.
I love supporting the team and watching them play.
Yeah, it was when, yesterday when I had the wrong address and I came up to your front I go, "All I had to do was look for the big N. I should have known better."
True.
Yeah. Yeah, and, I think it's so wonderful the pride you have for your school and your state,
Well, I
and
think,
it's just
down here, everyone has pride for their school. I mean,
yeah.
there's so many Wisconsin fans and Iowa fans and, you know, you just name it.
Yeah.
They're down here.
Yeah,
So, but
it's
there's a
fun.
huge Nebraska contingent also,
There
though.
is. I mean, I think we're starting a Minnesota group, and there's only one other state that has a group, and
I
it's Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah, that's very awesome for you guys.
That's a lot of fun.
So how do you like these 2 golf courses here?
They're good. They're a little bit different
Yeah.
from each other, which is nice. They, for myself, they're not that challenging, but
Sure.
I can play different sets of tee boxes to hit different types of shots and clubs and things like that to prepare for tournaments. But no, they're in great shape. David does an excellent job. Our pro shop staff is just amazing, led by Brandon and the everyone that works in there.
Yeah.
So no, it's a great place to live.
So do you I mean, you're retired. It doesn't seem like you're retired, though. Is there a day that you think you won't golf, or is there any days where you're like, "I don't wanna golf," or do you still have that fire?
Well, last year was a long year. I played more tournaments than I normally do.
Okay.
And I will be honest, I was actually burnt out by the end.
Were you
And
injury or mental?
no, mental. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just had several high level competitions, back to back to back. And by the end, I was just drained. And so I actually took like 3 weeks off.
Oh, did you? And didn't even pick up a club?
Didn't pick up a club and had no desire to pick up a
Oh,
club.
really? So it wasn't hard. It was just, you were just like, "I need a break."
Right, correct.
So, when you go into a tournament, so do you have a tournament coming up?
I have a partner event that starts next Saturday.
So when do you start mentally preparing for that?
I've kind of been starting to work on it now. Again, it's a partner event and it is a state partner event, so I want to do well.
Yeah.
But it's not the preparation like I would put into for a national event or
Sure.
something like that.
So if you're going into a national event, how soon do you start preparing? Months ahead of time?
Yeah, probably at least 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
And are you at all working on your swing, or are you working on strategy or just consistency?
I'm working on my swing, but mostly on my short game.
Okay.
Chipping and putting are so key to being able to shoot low numbers and be successful because you're not going to hit every green, so you need to know how to chip
Sure.
and get up and down. And then, there's just some, you just need to be able to make those 5-footers if you're going to be successful.
Right.
So I spend a lot of time on those. Yeah, but, I'm always working on the swing because, alignment is key. So I always lay a stick down for my alignment and, try to hit balls every day so that I make sure I don't lose my swing.
Right.
But I'm the type of player that I can take 3 or 4 days off and, I can
You still have that
it.
swing?
Whereas, one of my good friends, she hates taking a single day off
Oh,
because
really?
she feels like she loses her swing. So it's
Sure.
just everyone's different.
Has your swing changed a lot over the years, or is it has it stayed pretty consistent on?
Or
have you had ever have an overhaul?
I again, I hate to say, but I had a very natural swing,
Sure.
right from the get-go, and so I did take a few lessons, growing up. Then one of my assistants, Mike Schuhart, I got a few tips from him that have helped me, and then down here, I really, like I said, I hadn't really competed. I only played like 20 rounds a year, and I qualified for the senior AM up in Alaska.
Okay.
And
what year was that?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
A bit back.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was going to be my first national tournament since I was 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so I was nervous, and I didn't know how. I knew nothing about anybody.
Sure.
So I went in there quite naive and just happened to, play a practice round with some Arizona players, and Peggy Gustafson, a pro who splits her time between Arizona and here, was watching our group.
Wait a second. Between Arizona and where?
Alaska.
Alaska. Okay.
Alaska.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a teaching pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so over at Portobello right now. But anyway, so, she made some comments that, she loved my golf swing, and, she gave me a few pointers and things like that, and really, gave me the confidence that I could compete at that level.
Okay.
And so, I made the cut, and I did lose in my first match to a player who ended up being a really good player. So like I said, I didn't know any better, but anyway, so I came back here in the summer or in the winter, and I actually took some lessons from her. And then I wanted my game to progress after I realized, maybe I had some talent for this game.
Sure.
And so I did start taking lessons then from Tina Toombs.
Okay.
And she did change a few things on my swing that have allowed me to become, the player I am right now.
Okay.
So I give a lot of credit actually to both of them for, one for the confidence and one for taking my game to another level.
Wow. That is incredible that later in life, it seems like you found something special that you can enjoy. I mean, to play at that level and to be able to compete with these people you're competing with, and it's kind of a neat second wind. Do you feel like that, or is it always?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been competitive. I hate to even lose at checkers or anything like that. So, I mean, I was one of those parents who never let their kids win because I had to win. But no, that's not true. I did let them win a few times, but
very few.
Very few. No, so I think the competitive nature just came naturally. It's the self-confidence to be able to compete against the best players, and you actually have some of the best players in the world right here in Arizona.
Right.
So
in the state that you're player of the year, that's what's. I mean, you're playing at a high level right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very fortunate to have the time and the talent to be able to do what I love to do, and so it's been great.
Well, I'll tell you, I think I can speak for everybody. We're so proud to have you here, and we love hearing. I mean, it's just fun to hear when you're playing. It's fun to see you out there practicing. Everyone's like, is she out there with her mirrors?
Yeah, I do like my mirrors when I'm putting to make sure I'm,
and you're just making sure your eyes are aligned over the ball?
My shoulders are square, my eyes are over the ball, and that my stroke is, back square to square.
Sure. That is, I have so much respect for you and your golf game, and you as a person. I think you're wonderful to hang out with.
Well, thank you.
This is not a Kiss Up podcast, but we typically end on, what do you like about Westbrook Village? And I know we've heard how you got here, but what do you love about Westbrook?
I think it's the people. I mean, there's so many wonderful people here that, I can call friends. They, whether it's golf or pickleball, I play mahjong. There's just a wide variety of people that I would never have met had we not moved down here, and they're from, a wide variety of careers and backgrounds and states, and it's just been a wonderful experience. And Westbrook attracts, I don't know why, but it attracts great people.
Yes, so I agree. I think it's really quality people here of different. If you don't like what someone's doing, go to the next person. Because even though they may not fit into what you're looking for, there's one right around the corner.
Right.
And it's all you have to do is say hello. I meet them at car washes. I meet them everywhere.
Yeah.
As long as they wear a little Westbrook Village, I can identify them. So.
Oh, I know. It's just a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, it is. And it's beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not used to golf course communities, so I didn't do a lot of never thought I'd live in one, but I am so proud when I drive in, because you kind of drive in, you think, like I would be thinking, what are the Nebraska team going to think when they come around the corner? They're going to think, this is beautiful. Big mounds of green grass in the middle of the desert. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a little hidden oasis. People really, it's amazing how many people have never even heard of Westbrook Village.
Right.
But then, once they find it, they are sold.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's wonderful. So, well, I really appreciate you doing this interview.
Well, thank you, Steve. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't get any good golf tips, but that would take way too long. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again for tuning into the Meet Your Neighbor podcast. Real estate is how I'm able to support this show and give back to our community. If you or someone you know is thinking about buying or selling a home in Arizona, I'd love to help. I also offer a free real estate review, basically a health checkup for your home's value and market position. You can call or text me anytime at 651-295-6830. Again, that's 651-295-6830. I'd be honored to help you or your neighbors with the next chapter of your real estate journey. And thanks again for listening, and be sure to keep connecting.